There was a teacher by the name of Patricia Cummings out of Bronx Middle School, number 118. Now, she decided to make a lesson about Black history and what she done to the children, how she singled them out. I want you to hear the details of what this teacher had done to the children, and then we're really going to get into the rest of the details and how we can make a difference to help the children out who suffered at the hands of this white supremacist teacher.
With the grammar school, and that social studies teacher, her name is Patricia Cummings. She has been reassigned away from students, according to the education department, following that controversial lesson. The Daily News reports she told 3 Black 7th grade students to lie on the floor of their classroom to demonstrate what Africans may have felt as they were forced on ships for the slave trade. Cummings, the teacher, is Caucasian. At one point, reports say she stepped on the children's backs. We talked with shocked neighbors who live near the school, but first you'll hear from a mom of a middle school student who tells us word has spread quickly among parents and students about what happened.
I think that was pretty racist. I do. I mean, if a teacher tells kids to lay down and she steps on their back, that has nothing to do with slavery. That was a racist move that she made.
That you remove her.
That's crazy. That's traumatizing. And as a parent, I would be very upset. I would definitely want her to be removed from the school because that's not acceptable.
And a spokeswoman for the Department of Education says, quote, while the investigation has not been completed, these are deeply disturbing allegations and the alleged behavior has no place in our schools or in society. And again, Stacey and Adam were told the teacher, Patricia Cummings, has been reassigned away from students. Also, the DOE is providing support for this school.
Now, let's get into what really happened to that classroom. Now, the teacher was doing a lesson on U.S. slavery, Black History Month. And then she called 3 students to the front of the class and she instructed them to get on the ground. Okay. So she told them, you see how it was to be a slave? How does it feel? This Caucasian female is directing this at 3 Black children. One of the Black children, a Black girl, stated she feel fine. So then this teacher proceeded to step on her back and say, how does it feel now? Now, this teacher was reported. As you heard, she was removed from teaching students, but she was not fired. Now, this is the kind of teachers that's in public schools teaching Black children. So when you hear me say over and over and over again that we need schools that are safe spaces for Black children to get an education, that they don't have to lay on floors and have Caucasians stepping on their back and saying, how does it feel? This is why I state these things over and over and over and over. We see white supremacist teachers are harming our children daily. She's not calling out the white children and having a lesson with them about the caves of Europe. She's not putting them in no kind of dark place and asking them how does it feel to simulate a cave. She's not doing that, but she simulates the transatlantic slave trade and what our brothers and sisters went through in the bottom of those boats. And she enjoyed that because that racialized terrorism and racialized fetishing of Black people, they enjoy that so much. A lot of them wish they can live in the slavery times. They would love slavery because they're lazy, they're good for nothing. And I don't know why we allow them to teach any child, to be honest with you. Now, if a parent was to do that same thing to their child and that child reported it, the police would be at the parent's house. CPS would take the children away. But she can get away with this? And she's not going to jail, but a parent would go to jail if they did the exact same thing to their child? Pay attention to that. We have to, in the Black community, get ourselves right, unify, put aside all your silly differences and unify under the guise of we are Black people, African people, whatever term you want to use, because some of you want to call yourself different things. We have this hue. We have this history here, and we need to unify and take care of ourselves. We aren't taking care of our children, and we are subjecting our children to these white supremacists in the classroom. These white supremacists are telling our children that they can't wear braided hair, they can't wear afros, they can't do this, they can't do that. You know about the school to prison pipeline. It's proven black children are suspended more. The cops in schools arrest black kids more, not because they're doing more things, but because of racial bias and racialized terrorism at the hands of white supremacists, administrators, white supremacist cops. We know that. The data is out there proving it over and over and over and over again. I'm not one to keep begging people that I know it's just in them to do this. It's in them to treat us that way. And I have almost 400 years of history to back that up. It's not like I'm just singling one event and that's it. And if you aren't a white supremacist or believe in white supremacy, then I'm not talking to you. The way I speak is if the shoe fits, wear it. And if you are defending a white supremacist, then to me, you're a white supremacist. Don't come to me saying you're not racist, but you're defending white supremacists. Just that simple. And to that other crowd is going to come and say, oh, well, you guys saying this about white people. No, we're talking about white supremacists. And if you feel white people are white supremacists, then that says a lot about you, right? But what can we do with this situation? She wasn't fired. This woman needs to be gone. Black people need to mobilize on Twitter, YouTube, whatever. So in the pinned comment, I'm going to post the chancellor's phone number where you can call the New York City Department of Education. I'm going to post the principal's number and you can call the Bronx Middle School 118 and call them and let them know that you do not want to see a white supremacist teacher who were child abusing 3 children, humiliating them, racially terrorizing them. Let them know on the phone that you don't want that woman teaching the children anymore. Patricia Cummings need to go. Last week, Terry Butcher, she had to go. She resigned. This one need to go. And from now on, anytime someone mess with our children in school or any kind of government official say something, we're going to start putting out phone numbers, emails, and then I'm going to ask you every time to call and email. Do your part. Because if you're not going to defend the children, then we are all a piece of crap. How is it we're going to have the next generation, but we're not going to defend them from racialized terrorism? No. We need to do this. And when I had this discussion this morning about this particular story with the people on Patreon, they gave me the green light. They said, yeah, this one is important enough to be public because, you know, I'm on a hiatus right now. And you know why? But this is more important about the kids and not about the situation I had on the last video that I posted. Now, I'm not saying I'm back to making regular videos, but they gave me the green light. So we went ahead and made sure to make that decision for the sake of our children. So if you're watching this video, make sure you call the chancellor. Make sure you call the school, flood their lines. Don't let them get a call in because this teacher needs to go. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this. Make sure you call. Share the video with everyone that you know. Like the commentary, subscribe, and click the notification bell to find when we post new news stories or live streams.